honestly, you and I all know how this works. You throw some ideas out like spaghetti to the wall, and if it sticks, you know, you go with it. So usually this is a process. Spirit starts days ahead of time saying, oh, you need to talk about this. And then, you know, you can't remember everything. I'll be like driving somewhere or doing something. Oh, and don't forget to say this. Like, I'm supposed to just, you know, and I try as soon as I can get to a pad and paper or record it, whatever, I do, because they usually have something to say. Ooh, that's a beautiful dress, Rosie. Try again.
Thank you.
Okay, so dear church family, we're getting towards the end of another year, and we always take the time to look back on it. So much change has come about to each of us in our personal lives. Some things we're truly grateful for. Some we would wish on our worst enemies. But regardless of the changes you've weathered, whether they be positive or maybe you feel negative, know that you have not taken one step on your path alone. Besides loved ones and family that are present here in your sight, truly know that there were greater powers at work here as well. I was reminded of this while doing a very recent reading with an individual. Spirit had something they felt must be said, and me making myself available for Spirit did my part, the one in the middle. Spirit advised them that they be open to gratitude. Spirit went on to relate that all of the recent good fortune and strokes of luck blessed upon them had been through the hard work of their intervention. Spirit stressed that though the people thought they had worked all this on their own, Spirit had indeed played a part in their blessing, smoothing things along, removing obstacles in their pathway, paving the way to a clear stretch of open highway for them to embark upon. Anybody that's driven through the Southwest, you'll know there's just this big, long, flat stretch. You go for miles and miles without seeing anything. So Spirit paves your way. Let's not forget, though, where we do come from. Spirit, simple as that. We are what we are. Spirit in a human form for however many years we visit. We will leave this world and travel on. So know that this is truly not your home for eternity. That awaits you on another plane of existence. But you are here to learn, plain and simple. You're here as a part of the infinite Spirit's plan. You really have no hand in this. You can huff and puff and think you're the master of your plan, but in all truth, you are not. This belongs to the infinite. You are here playing the role you have been cast with, the hand you are dealt, as they say. They, the mysterious they that we speak of once more. My talk today is primarily geared towards gratitude. So who acknowledges this? Who accepts the challenge? Who can stay focused and realize what you have been given and why you are truly here? Pay attention to me as I speak the words of Spirit. Don't pay attention to what this girl, I hate saying it, don't pay attention to what this girl looks like or the color of her clothes. It is Spirit here on this day speaking to you through her. Do you realize the blessings that have been bestowed to you in the form of life? There are many others that wish to be where you sit, but alas, cannot. Know that the infinite Spirit sees us all and what we bring forth to others. Look and study the world at this time. There is much hate and ugliness bearing fruit. It does doesn't have to be this way for all. Truly look within and recognize that there are so many that spew ugliness and destruction and hurt, true evil in the eyes of the infinite. Look past them. They are not important. They are mere pawns in this war of hate and evil. Look past them. Look instead on all that is pure and in the light. There are so many gentle spirits that come through with only love in their hearts and are here to teach a lesson as well. Love, and how we can spread it regardless of what we see in the daily news every day. There has always been violence in the world. There will continue to be violence in the world. That is the way of man. Know that and accept it, but do your part. Display your gratitude for the life you've been chosen to live. Make it work. Do your best. The infinite spirit sees all and understands us all with unconditional compassion. There will be resolution. Some will suffer in their own form of hell for the pain they have caused in this lifetime. They will see this on the other side. They will see the hurt and destruction for what it has been. But you always must be the light. Show your true light that Spirit has opened up for you, and accept Spirit's hand in it. The world can be a very loving and grateful place for so many. Accept your part in this battle. Stand tall and show why you are here. Show why you are here in this church today. Stand firm with the choices you have made to live this way. Many will follow you. There will always be violence and war and suffering in this world of yours, but you can make changes in your space. You can live cleanly and love others of like minds and allow no hate to spread from you and yours. Gratitude. We should spend so much of our time knowing what we have been blessed with. Acknowledge it. Know that Spirit has a hand in it. All the good around you. Be open to gratitude. It's the law of attraction, which most of us have studied. Be open to gratitude, and you will attract so much more to you. You are what you put out. Never doubt that. Look at the hate that some people attract. There's been recent mass shootings that we unfortunately have been exposed to. It's happening all over our country and in some other parts of the world for different reasons, but all leading to the same outcome: death, hurt, chaos, and extreme pain, and all the aftershocks that are felt because of the violence. These people, for whatever reasons they do these things, they cause even more hate and hurt in their wake. The human thing is to anger. And sometimes with man, unfortunately, violence begets more violence. Let me amass a huge stockpile of weapons and hurt as many as I can. Men, women, children, what does it matter? They're all collateral damage. They're only pawns in the game of publicity for them or their cause. Many are sick. Many are angry. Many suffer from various forms of mental anguish. They do these things sometimes to make a point, but it's their point. But we do not have this hate and anger and sickness of heart within us. We have the light. of the infinite within each and every one of us. And we have a responsibility to project that out. Be the light. Be the ones that can only spread unconditional love and unity. Don't let them win this game by making you hate and want to lash out in retaliation. Remember the point Spirit makes over and over again. We are spirit in human form at this time. We will answer for our actions to ourselves and to the infinite when it is our time. In the meantime, look on this life with gratitude. Project only love and acceptance of each other. This is the way. This is what Spirit teaches us. We can only do well by modeling these behaviors. Are we not fortunate to be here and to be able to spread the love and blessings forward to all of our friends and family? Not just others of like minds. That's the hard part. This is where Spirit truly tests us. Do you walk the walk or just talk? Spirit wants us to spread this to all we come in contact with. Do I expect some form of miracle to occur here? Do I expect that by living as Spirit has intended for us, we will erase all the other actions that come about or prevent them? No. I am a realist. I know as Spirit has reminded us that there will always be violence, there will always be hurt and war, and above all, hate for those that are different from you, those that look different, those that believe different. But in the words of a very famous Beatle that unfortunately died this time of year many, many years ago, you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us and the world will live as one. What a beautiful thought. Be open to gratitude. Project yourself as such. We have so much, and we bring so much more to the table, the banquet table of abundance. We have these laws that we can live by and do our best to show others how we live. So I do have to tell you, I do these primarily with channeling. You know, I'll open it up what I kind of basically am going to touch on, and then I just step aside and type. And, you know, some of the things, as I read them, you know, they're for me also. Like Joy always says, what you are speaking about isn't necessarily your thoughts, but they're Spirit's thoughts. So they're all teaching moments here for us. So I would conclude by saying, you know, this is a holiday season. It's a holiday season not just for those that believe in, you know, Christ being born in Bethlehem, etc. There are other spiritual holidays this time of year. They kind of just all run together. There's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, you know, all different things, Hindu celebrations. There are so many. So we just choose to openly celebrate the holiday season. So we decorate, everybody, you know, makes cookies, we bring in Santa Claus, you know, there's cards and presents and lots of candy canes. So it's for all of us, because that changes your mindset sometimes from being down and gloomy or angry at co-workers or friends or spouses or teachers, whoever. And it's a time where people need to really make it a point to show others that it's a celebration for all. I'd like to remind also everyone, there's always times in people's lives, you know, when they're alone. Not everyone has family or loved ones, you know, or friends even, to gather with for these holidays. And you can see sometimes some people that are alone and basically sad. And I can remember, and I'm sure Joe can too, in the military, a lot of times, you know, you're way far away from home. You're not anywhere near, you know, mom and dad or anybody, you know, so we tend to form close bonds with the people we're stationed with. We celebrate holidays together, and a lot of times those bonds last forever. And I'm sure you know, I have, I'm still in touch throughout the year, not just at Christmas or holidays, with people I was stationed with like 20, 30 years ago. You know, we're all still in touch. So I'm just basically saying, if you know of anybody that's alone all through this holiday season, please reach out to them, you know, because a lot of us have like very elderly neighbors that are alone. They've lost their spouses or their children, or they have no family close by, like I said. And it's always nice to reach out to somebody. And whether they want to come into your home and share the holiday, a meal, or, you know, little get-together, think of them, you know, something that you can do for them, you know, to make that still a special time for them as well. Whether you bring them a plate or desserts or whatever the case. Like my talk, it's gratitude basically, because most of us here have a home, have family, have loved ones. Some do not. So we're grateful, and Spirit reminds us to be grateful. There's so many songs we sing, like Count Your Blessings, and you know, all kinds of things that are like a nudge to us, like, hey, you've got it pretty good, you know, you drove here probably, you have a home to go to when you leave here. Not everybody has that, we all know that. And I'd like to make it a point, from Life Point Ministries, where I live, we've been their, I'll be honest, their primary donors probably for the past 7 years, and they do sponsor the shelter, they do everything for the homeless, and not only the homeless, people that are disadvantaged. So it's not just homeless people they're helping. They do community meals every holiday, open to everyone in the public. And it's not just people that say can't afford to have a meal. It's people that don't want to be alone on holiday. So they come there, there's food, there's music, there's always Santa Claus, and then more food. So this is what I'm talking about when we talk about gratitude. We're also very blessed here. Just remember those that might necessarily have it as good as you. So thank you for listening to that. Before we go on to the our offering of love back to our church, we do have like a little annual thing we do here. My poor granddaughters, but you know, my kids had to go through it too. We were at church every Sunday. They had to do this, had to do that. You know, gotta go to class, gotta make my confirmation. Teenagers. So they are teenagers, 16 and almost 19. So they're going to sit back and relax, and their annual presentation of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," Juliana and Alana. You can step up to the platform, ladies. Don't be afraid. You'd think they would have coordinated that all before.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, and hoped that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash.
The moon on the beast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes would appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With the little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head what was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he had looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as snow. The snuff-on pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself.
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the dawn of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."